going to try and be really quick, I've got 2 minutes. I'm going to tell you a story, it's a cautionary tale, it's a cautionary tale of data gone wrong. This is all real data, these are all real things. These are things that have happened and things that I've measured. If you plot the number of pirates that are active in the world from 1800 to the year 2010, you get the chart that's on the board there right now. From 45,000 pirates, Captain Jack Sparrow now in 1800, to 2010 where there's about 150 Somalian pirates active in the world. If you plot the average global temperature of the Earth from 1800 to 2010, you get a graph that looks like that. As an educator, the next question is what happens if we plot one against the other? Piracy reducing global warming. You get the fact that the biggest cure for global warming out there is to increase the number of pirates to about 45,000. If we could increase the number of pirates out there to 45,000, we would reduce global warming by about 1.5 degrees. Secondly, I want to present you with this one. The amount of alcohol drunk by the UK population from 1830 to 1900 in units or in litres of 100% alcohol. Clearly going up from 4 litres of 100% alcohol to 8 litres of 100% alcohol. Genuine data. If we plot the number of vicars and ordained ministers in the United Kingdom from 1830 to 1900, you get a graph that looks like that. The next question as an educator is if we plot one against the other, you get that. The more vicars we have, the more we drink. So we have proven conclusively that the way of reducing alcohol consumption in this country is to reduce the number of vicars. I jest because of this. Every year we're entering the silly season for data, and every year newspapers will pronounce this affects this, exams are getting easier, this relates to this, if you do this, this happens. My favourite one there, which is the one that's in yellow, is boys underperform compared to girls. I have never seen any rigorous data analysis done on the bottom one. We look at averages of data sets, and we say that if we segment the data and we pool people over there with different bodily appendages and call them males, and people over here with different bodily appendages and call them females, and we measure something about them, their exam results, they do differently than they do. Any binary split in your data where you've got 2 choices will produce a difference in the averages. In our school, all of the students who live in odd-numbered houses do much worse than the students who live in even-numbered houses. Genuine fact. In our school, people who have PlayStation 3s do much better in their examinations than students who have Xboxes. But we're not rushing out to solve that problem. I'm being facetious, but I'm raising a serious point. In our school, before they knocked it down and built a new one, they were the average point scores on the evening for our year 11s. Boys got 22.2, girls got 28.2. Clearly we had a problem, and loads of initiatives and strategies were put in place to solve it. But if you actually look at the data, the spread of the data is such that the reason the females outperformed the boys were because of a few at the top end of the performance, and the fact that their spread of their data was such. There isn't a statistical difference between boys and girls in our school, but yet we persist in education in doing things about problems that might not necessarily exist. The ministers do it, the leaders do it, we all do it because it's very simple to split the data into boys and girls. We can split the data however we like, but just because we can measure something, correlation isn't causation. Pirates don't cause global warming, and vicars don't cause alcoholism. But because we can measure it, we insist on doing something. If you go looking for a link between 2 things, don't be surprised if you find it, because you went looking for it in the first place, so you assumed it was there. So when you actually find it, you're self-fulfilling your own prophecies, and you're blind to the fact that actually, statistically, there may well actually not be a real difference between the 2 things. And please, as people involved in managing our own classrooms, actually employ some proper data when we look at things, when we look at the learners in front of us and we split them up. And things have been mentioned about things like the link between kind of other things that we can measure about students. Absolutely fantastic. The more data that we have, brilliant. But let's not just reduce it to the mean of a population of data. Let's look at spread, standard deviations. significances of those differences, because actually we're making decisions. Talking about the elephant in the room, this is the elephant in the room, isn't it? It's data, is that in fact, just because we can measure something, it doesn't give us any validity unless we